What's going on? Welcome in. This is the live recording of episode 99 of the Client by Client podcast. Today we're talking about boosting your on-camera confidence. We'll get started here in a little less than 45 seconds. Today on the podcast over in Apple Podcasts and Spotify, we talk about overcoming objections in the DM, how to identify objections, how to overcome them, what to do to get less of them, and why you're at an advantage when you're getting objections and why it may not be something you want to avoid and actually something that you want to solicit and elicit from your prospects. Today, we're going to talk about boosting on-camera confidence, and I'm going to give you the tips that I would give to my students, that I would give to myself if I was starting all over and didn't have the experience of public speaking and doing this live stream stuff for the last 10-ish years of my life. Let's hop in. Let's talk about it. Let's boost your on-camera confidence. Hey, what's up? Jeremy here from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We are at episode 99. Where does the time go? Excited for what's to come in episodes 100 through 200. We're just getting going here, my friends, and this is just the start of a lot of fun and what we're building here with the show. In the last episode, we talk about a very important and personal topic, which is for those of you who lack support from your friends, your family, your social circle, those people closest to you, and how to handle it, how to go about it, the thought process, and how to come from a very grounded perspective, a very holistic perspective, so that you can best take those next steps, so that you can best consider what kind of impact those people have on your life. So head back one episode if you are one of those people who lack support from your social circle, your friends, your family, those closest to you, to understand top to bottom how to think about it and how to go about it, and maybe even how to have some tough conversations with those loved ones. In today's episode, we're talking about boosting your on-camera confidence. Let's face it, being on camera and video content is one of the most important things to an online business and to you as an online coach. And if you lack confidence on camera, it can really create a lot of current and downstream issues that keep you stuck, that keep you below 5, 10, 15K a month. So let's hop in and let's talk about it. First, let's talk about what happens if you don't get this right. The first thing that happens is that you avoid the most powerful medium for content creation. And that's frustrating because you feel like you're hiding, and others start to pick up on that in some way. They start to think like, why don't they do video? Are they hiding something? And then you wind up missing out on leads and many opportunities to grow your online business. The second thing that happens is that you go on camera, but your on-camera presence repels prospects and clients. And that's frustrating because you're putting yourself out there. You're getting on camera. You're creating content, but it winds up hurting your brand and your business, which is also not the effect that we want to have. So let's hop in and let's talk about 3 tips for boosting your on-camera confidence. The first thing I think is most important, and it's that you will get better with time and putting yourself out there. And all of this starts with practice. And you can just practice and you could get a little better, or you can work on perfect practice, because they say practice makes perfect, but it doesn't. Perfect practice makes perfect. And so there's a couple of things that you're going to want to be practicing when it comes to your on-camera confidence. A couple of those things that I want for you to be considering. One of them is your tone, and there's different ways that you can play with this. Are you super, super happy and excited to be here? Or are you just okay and maybe kind of sad and really trying to draw people in? So you can, and that's also tone, and that's a little bit of the next one, which is your pace. I have a pretty steady pace here, and I talk fast just in general, and that is my pace. Might be an opportunity, but even in the past, there were times in my life where I talked way faster and where I got the feedback constantly that I talk too fast. Not something that I get often these days. Pace and tone are 2 of the 4 things that I want for you to start practicing with. And the next one, and this can impact both your tone and your pace, is smiling. And smiling will create an entire different vibe because your mind affects your body and your body affects your mind. And so if you slouch and have poor posture, that affects how you show up in the world to others, and it also impacts the way you think about yourself too, and the way you drive yourself to show up or don't. When you smile, you send a whole different kind of signal out. And that subconsciously is a feedback loop to your body, and your physiology will change based on your facial expressions. It's interesting. It's kind of like one of those things where your environment makes you, and then you can make your environment. This is a symbiotic relationship. And so if you are showing up on camera kind of scared and you're showing it in your face and you can kind of feel it, unless you find a way to work through those nerves, and nerves can be a total real thing. Side tangent, when I was in high school, I was a national high school president of Skills USA. And the first time that I got super nervous was my sophomore year of high school, when I was just running for a local regional town officer here in Arizona. And the next time that I got super nervous was on stage, Kemper Arena, Kansas City, Missouri. We were doing a practice run for our opening ceremony. And this year it alternates between college or high school and college post-secondary. It alternates with who runs opening session at the beginning of the week and who runs closing session at the end of the week. It alternates every year. And this year, high school was running the opening session, and we do a whole ceremony. There's a whole thing, and it's a bit more involved on the high school president, me at the time's speech and speaking abilities, just more reliant on that person in that role. And huge blessing, huge great opportunity. My parents were also going to be there during the actual ceremony. I think they're already in town for it. And when we went through the first time in our full official attire and went through a dry run, no one in the arena at the time, my knees started shaking so unbelievably hard. And the last time I had that, when I was a sophomore in high school, this is now the end of my senior year, so I've actually graduated already, that I'm on stage doing this practice run. And the last time this happened was in my sophomore year, running and doing a speech in front of maybe 45 to 100 people maximum. And I got so nervous that I just kept staring down at my speech and had my finger running along with the words that I had typed out. And when I got to this point in high school, I was able to just either memorize what we were doing, or I could go up there and just riff or memorize the key point I was going to get across, and then I could go up and I could get that point across. So you have to be practicing. And what I found is that when it came to the actual opening session, when there were 15,000 students there, and right before my name is going to be announced, I'm last to walk out on stage of about 15 national officers. This is the kickoff, the culmination of so many students' hard work. They're coming to compete from all over the US, and they're given trade at the highest level. And right before I'm about to go out on stage, my parents were having some issues getting to the arena and traffic and all these things in Kansas City. And right before my name's about to be called, I hear my mom and dad, and I look behind me, and they're behind stage upstairs working to find their seats. And like, I had the peace of mind of knowing that they were in the stadium and that they were going to be able to see me go up on stage and do my thing. And so when I went up there, I smiled and I had the most fun I ever had speaking. And that came from rigorous practice, even though I considered myself and was really good at public speaking at that time. We did that dry run. I got the nerves out. So sometimes you might want to figure out how you can do a dry run of whatever you're going to present, of whatever video you're going to make, with no consequences, to work those nerves out so that you can get better when it comes time to be in the moment and to actually create that final piece of content. The next piece that I want for you to practice, we're talking about practice, is hand gestures, how you use your body. Could be if you're making a video, it's less about stage presence and it's more about keeping people focused on your main topic. And that can be done way better on video with hand gestures, with facial gestures, and also changing things we've talked about with your pace, with your tonality, and with your smile. Thing number one you got to get right is just practice. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So I want for you to also be practicing how you are visualizing yourself ending up on camera, so that when you get on camera, it feels the same as that perfect practice that you did, and you'll wind up with a far better result. Thing number two for boosting your on-camera confidence, building off of thing number one, is start in private, but don't wait to go public. You have to start in private and then build in public, and accept that maybe right now you're not as good as you're going to be, but that you are going to get better. And I think there's something to be said for being honest with yourself and showing some vulnerability and transparency with your audience and with your growing audience. And what's great is that, let's say you're on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram and you're making videos. Over time, your audience is going to see your growth and they're going to see your evolution. And one of the intangibles of growing an online coaching business that I've experienced, that I'm dying for you to experience, is the feeling that people and your clients and your future clients, they want to be around someone who is increasing, who's increasing their skill set, who's increasing their confidence, who's increasing their quality of life. This is something that you can only see and feel, and it's a lot harder to actually point out and to kind of describe it. But when your prospects see that you are growing and that you are putting yourself out there, and they see that, they want a piece of that too. They don't want to stay where they're at, and they want to be around others who are also increasing themselves. So you got to start in private and build to public. Two really good ways to start doing that. One of them you guys hear that I'm totally a big fan of and an advocate for you doing, like I do every day in my business, is the story function on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and wherever else story is use that and hop on there every single day for a minute to talk about your prospects' pains and problems and the consequences of not doing anything about it, to share your best parts of your personality and you getting better on camera, maybe even using your experience and practice of getting better on camera as a story to share with your prospects about putting themselves out there, about taking that next step, of not being scared, about conquering their fears, and use that every single day to be getting better. And you don't have to hit publish on it after you create it. You don't. It's a win if you just create the story, but even better if you share the story and work with what you got and just ship it until you get it better, because that's going to cause a little pain that's going to make for you to want to get better. Second is YouTube videos. And what's great about YouTube is that you can edit them. You can edit out the ums, the ahs, the weird pauses, the frustrations, the loud breathing, and the moments of error. And this can help you to get better faster. And this also, it's a lower barrier of entry because you can do the part of the YouTube video over and over and over that you're trying to get right. And that is going to cause for you to get better over time. If you do that every single day, if you did that every single week, if you did that even as little as once a month, even though that's probably not enough for you to get really good at this, that's going to boost your confidence over time. You're going to get better. And what you're going to notice is that you're going to have less nerves, less butterflies, less errors, and over time, less editing. And you're going to be far better at just streaming live or recording something one time, being okay with the errors that you make, rolling with the punches, showing your unique personality, and then you're also shipping content out there that's attracting in more ideal prospects and more future clients. Thing number 3 for boosting your on-camera confidence is to borrow confidence. Borrow confidence from your role models, from your mentors. I would even think about your favorite actors and starting to watch, if you're going to do the Netflix and the Hulu and watching other content, is to look with a non-passive eye, look with a very active eye about what catches your attention and the charisma and parts of other people's personalities that you enjoy, and start to borrow pieces of that or play with that and pretend like you're them. Put on the mask of them when you're in practice, and maybe walking in someone else's shoes can help for you to just get a little better or a little more comfortable so you can build that confidence. And lastly, borrow the confidence from your future self. This is an important thing to get better at, and boosting your on-camera confidence is going to make you better in every area of your business, and it's going to make you more confident in every area of your life. And when you can accept right now that you're not as good as you're going to be 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, you can start to take solace in and borrow confidence from that future version of you and bring that into the current moment, maybe just to settle the fears, maybe just to settle the butterflies and to actually get you going. Borrow confidence from mentors, borrow confidence from other actors and other content creators, and most importantly, borrow confidence from your future self. Whenever you are ready, here are a few ways I can help you grow your online business. First, download your free copy of GetBookedCRM. Coaches, are you still managing your leads and pipeline from Instagram DM, Facebook Messenger, and your email inbox, where you're losing leads in the cracks and you're leaving clients and money on the table every single month? That's why I created GetBookedCRM. What started out as a free way for me to manage my pipeline and turn prospects into clients has quickly become a favorite tool of my students and many members in the Leverage Coach community. Get leads and turn them into clients in half the time, and get it while it's still free. To download your copy now, all you have to do is find me on Instagram and send me the letters CRM. Second, join my free group for online coaches. I've got hundreds of coaches from all over the world in varying different coaching niches, all implementing my methods and strategies for starting and scaling their online businesses. Get access to them, access to me, and access to resources available only in the Leverage Coach community. And all ships rise in a high tide. To get your free invite now, just find me over on Instagram and message me the word group. Lastly, become my next success story. I'm getting some coaches together this month to implement my methods and frameworks for injecting a minimum of 15K worth of new clients or doubling your online client roster base over the next 30, 60, 90 days. But working with the right people is super important to me. So only respond to this if you are a relationship-focused coach who always puts the human ahead of the money. You've been coaching for at least 6 months to a year. You'd like to get 3 to 5 clients organically from social media every month without wasting money and time on paid ads. You have at least 300 friends on a social media platform, email list, or group. You are willing to take bold action because you know that your success depends upon it. And last but most importantly, you can keep a secret. If that's you, I want you to grab your phone right now, tap that Instagram app icon, find me at WhatUpJeremy, give me a follow and binge on some content while you're there. And then I want for you to message me the words case study. When you do that, I'll ask you a couple questions about your online business and about your vision for the next 12 months. Then I'll share with you what we have coming up this month in the Get Clients program, how we're already helping coaches from all over the world to crush it with my methods, my frameworks, and my strategies. And then we'll identify what part of the program will likely make the biggest impact on your business the soonest. That way you know what to expect. For all the details, just find me over on Instagram and send me the words case study. That's it for this episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. Cheers. All right, team. That's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're episode 100 on Monday. Excited for that one. If you are attending Alex Hormozi's event this weekend, let me know over in the comments. That's probably going to be where the majority of you guys are. If not, you should be. Let me know what other plans you have. You can guess at mine, and we can go back and forth, and we can share weekend plans. All right, team, that's it for me. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.